Hi there.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you, Christina?
I am doing very well. I appreciate you talking to me about this. First of all, congrats on such an incredible performance in this. I can't imagine this was easy to go through.
I had it, I had it pretty easy. I'm just playing pretend.
Yeah. Well, when this whole project came your way, what were you most excited about getting to do and what most scared you about it?
I think my answer for both of those is actually the same. I think I was the most excited to have the opportunity to play a mom because I'm certainly not a mother. And then I was also and then it just seemed like a real challenge. And I never had an opportunity to do that. And then I was also the most scared to do it. Yeah.
You took on this real life story and you did so with your own mother. So,
Yeah.
what are the advantages of acting and having to emotionally, really essentially bare your soul alongside your mother? And what are the challenges of doing that? Was there ever a moment you were glad to have her there?
The whole time I was glad. Yeah, no, it was my idea. I was so excited about it. I was up in Canada quarantining, and the role of my mom was still open, and it dawned on me that I've always wanted to work with my mom. And then I was like, "Whoa, this is it! This my mom's got to do this." And I called Margot Robbie, and she loved the idea. And then everyone was on board and really excited about it. And then I was just like crossing my fingers, hoping my mom would want to do it. And I lucked out; she wanted to do it. So then she came up to Canada, and it was a real dream getting to work with her. I mean, it was one of the more surreal experiences of my life. And and across the board, like there's the comfort of having your mom in the same place when you're in the middle of a pandemic and you're away from home for 9 months. And then there's also just then there's my mom's whole body of work, which I'm in complete awe of and couldn't look up to her more. And then um, there's this thing where you walk into the room and your mom is playing your mom, and that like definitely shifts the situation. It's like the biggest cheat I've ever managed to pull off.
It's one thing to know her body of work, but what impressed you about her as a scene partner and actually, playing those moments with her?
She's the best. I mean, it seems like it's the easiest thing in the world for her, and she's so giving and cool. And I mean, yeah, I don't even, yeah.
There are so many things that are so infuriating about everything that your character has to go through just
Right.
just to get by on the day-to-day basis. What most infuriated you about all of that?
um that's a good question. I guess I guess just how quite literally impossible it all is. The the scenes that I have when we're talking about like trying to um to even get food stamps or get housing or anything like these, like the amount of hoops that you have to jump through in order to even qualify are outrageous. And then it's like winning the lottery to actually be chosen to have this thing that is not even so great to begin with. It's just the amount of work that she has to go through is really wild.
Yeah. I mean, because of all of that, how do you feel about where things end up for her? Were you, it really leaves on a hopeful note, even though we don't know exactly what will happen to her in the future, you do have a sense of hope for her. So, how did you feel about the ending of all of this?
um, I thought it was a pretty beautiful ending. I believe in Alex so much. I mean, I don't know who wouldn't. She's so incredibly strong and ambitious and kind. And I think I have no doubt that she'll keep fighting. But at the same time, I think that it's while Alex was able to persevere and navigate these really challenging circumstances, the truth of the matter is that so many people in the same situation don't have the same luck. And and despite the fact that she is incredibly driven and smart, it also required luck because these circumstances are so grave.
You've done projects from The Leftovers to Fosse Verdon to this that are very complex and complicated material. Have you ever wished more comedy would come your way? Do you
all the fucking time?
like do you relish, putting yourself through an emotional roller coaster?
Christina, like I think you should talk to a lot more people about this because I am like, where is it? I don't get those parts. I try really hard. No one wants me to be in those movies. I so badly want that, but I'm just not funny enough, I guess. I'm the sad girl. I don't know why.
Do you know what's next for you? Are you working on something now? Do you know what the next project is?
Yeah, I just finished a little indie here in New York. That was really fun. It was called Sanctuary. Zach Wiggin directed it, and it was me and Chris Abbott. And then it was awesome. And then I'm about to go to Panama to work on this Claire Denis movie I'm excited about with Taron Egerton called Stars at Noon. So that'll keep me busy for a minute.
And Sanctuary, you played a dominatrix, right?
I did, yeah, but like that lends itself to a connotation that makes it seem like a lot more sexy than it really is. In reality, it's not like S&M or anything. It's like psychological domineering. But it was so fun. Yeah,
it certainly seems like a big comparison to this character.
Yeah, it's lighter. It's certainly lighter than this. It's not comedic, or I guess there's comedic elements, but it's not like, it's still kind of heavy. I don't know.
What did you enjoy most about the bond that you formed with your young co-star? Because that mother-daughter relationship that you guys have is just so purely beautiful.
Thank you. It's her birthday today. Happy birthday, Riley. No, Riley and I got super, super close because, I mean, as you can imagine, no 4-year-old should really be working. So I had to make sure it didn't feel like work. And so I basically just became her person on set, and I'd carry her around and have, crayons and snacks. She's vegan, so I'd have all kinds of like healthy things, and we'd play, and I hung out with her every Sunday just to try to make it so that I didn't like only seem like the person who was telling her to do things, because, oftentimes if there's like out of all, if you see a 4-year-old sitting in a car seat, that means that she had to do it at least 10 times, which means that I had to buckle her in 10 times, and no 4-year-old wants to do that. So I'd have to come up with all kinds of fun games in order to keep it light and like an exciting thing to get in that car again. But she was great. And I've always appreciated the crew, but it wasn't until this experience that I really, really connected with the crew in such a massive way. Because, the directors are changing in and out. It's 9 months, and the cinematographers are changing in and out, but the one thing that's constant is the crew. And so, they'd see me struggling to get Riley to do things, and it became a really massive group effort. Like if she's supposed to be asleep, I'd be like, okay, let's see if you can trick Ian, who's like the camera operator, and see if he can be convinced that you're asleep. So then, Riley pretends to be asleep, and we go up to Ian, and I'm like, was she asleep or was she pretending? And then Ian's like, she had to be asleep. And then we do the same thing to, Scott, the props guy, or Misha, the Tad, and it just became this like joint effort to make every day happen. And it was really amazing. It's like, it's amazing to have all these people make such a beautiful game of high stakes pretend in any circumstance, but in the context of a pandemic, when everyone's wearing masks and they're risking their health just to make something, it really takes your breath away.
Well, thank you so much for talking to me about it. You're fantastic.
So sorry for that really long answer.
Thank you so much.